All right, let's knock out the 18th start of day stuff. So, end of the 17th, we would have advanced our marker. The next day, it will go through the reserve phase. So now we're on the 18th. You just take a peek here at the supplemental cards to the German deck. We're going to be drawing 7. Allied command level will remain at 4. We will start delayed reserves, so that's going to come into effect. The Allied deployment method is going to also use option B, and also out of contact units that may be on the board. So we'll cover that when we do deployments. VP loss for Allied occupied West Wall. Okay. So back to here, reserve phase. So if there's any German units from the 18th box, we bring them down to the reserve box. Okay. And the delayed reserves begins on the 18th. So if there's any pieces in the reserve box for the Germans from 2 days prior, we have one for the 16th. It gets deployed directly to the map. So that's rule 7.3. Let's just pop that open real quick. Delayed reserves. Well, that's that. So let me go to the placing them on the board. German reserve deployment. Within the unit's army area, in a road hex that is valid friendly supply, at least 3 hexes away from a non-isolated Allied unit or Allied town or city, 2 hexes if it's on a map edge hex, and within 3 hexes of a unit in the same division, otherwise same corps, otherwise same army. Reserve units in the same division entering in the same impulse must be placed in the same hex. So we have one piece, this one. It must be deployed in this part of the map where it's the German 6th Army. It needs to be on a road hex. It needs to be within at least 3 hexes away from an Allied piece. So, where can we run him up to be useful? And he needs to be within 3 hexes of the 3rd Division. What if I put him there? He is at least 3 hexes from there. He's within 4 of that. He's on a road. I could bring him up here if I need to. I could bring him down here if I need to. Or we benefit at all if we place him. No, I think that's probably about our best spot. You know, we could put him here if we wanted to keep him closer to being used this direction. Doesn't make much difference. You can get to there if needed. Might I want him up here? Let's just leave him right there. All right, so now we've got 2 pieces in the reserve box. That one would automatically come into play on the 19th tomorrow if we don't deploy him this turn. This day. All right. The Allied pieces, so they're going to be building up more in their reserve box. Let's keep them separate. There's the 1st and the 9th. There's the 4th Division, 10th Armored, 7th Armored, the entire 82nd is available, and the 30th, and the rest of the 10th Armored. Whew. Okay, so there's potentially a lot of Allied pieces to come to the map. I'll also go ahead and bring forward pieces on the 19th, just in case there's an expedite. Not a lot of Allied pieces to be expedited. For the Germans coming in tomorrow, we'll have 2 good pieces for LXVII. And we'll have the entire 2nd SS Corps of the 6th Army. So those come into play tomorrow. Okay. Card prep phase. Place reinforcement cards scheduled to enter play. So today is the 18th. Okay, there's no cards to add on the German side. We're supposed to take, so this is the available supplemental. So those were all used on the 17th. These are what's going to be used today. We're going to take 7 of these. I'm going to do a quick little shuffle here. We'll take 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We will then take the discarded cards. They go to the supplemental cards now, along with what was left over. Let me just do a preliminary shuffle. These will not get drawn now until tomorrow on December 19th. Okay. All of the primary cards will get used again. So taking my primary and the 7 supplementary I drew, I'll just do a top and bottom merge. Give them a bit of a shuffle. And as I read down that instructions, it's going to say shuffle the draw pile and draw your initial hand for the day, which will be 6 cards. Okay, let's go and see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So again, we're not going to have those powerful army cards because we had them, seemed to have them all yesterday. Activate the 1 SS or 12 SS. We'll have a reinforced battle. Activate 12 VG or 3 FG. There's a commandos event we could use, which means the allies skip their next impulse. Assault coordination on it. We've got activate all 1 SS. And we've got activate all 1SS. Okay, so we'll be doing stuff today with those pieces for sure. We again have an activate all of the XOVII and activate all the LVIII. Okay. Next, prepare the Allied command cards. Add any reinforcement cards for this date. It's the 18th. There will be two more supplementary, well, two more cards to add. These both have 18th on the top right corner. So this card on the right will be a nasty card. Deploy all 1st Army reserves. So that's the darker green. So that would put on the board everything in the 5th Corps, the 18th Corps. So that card could bring a lot of pieces to the board. And then this one here would be for the 30th Division. Okay, so let me just kind of merge those in yesterday's discards and then give all these a shuffle. All right, on the action cards, those say that beginning on the 19th, we add 2 cards from the offensive type. Today is the 18th, so we're not going to be adding any cards to the Allied action. So they'll still be having more of a defensive posture on any activations they do. Okay, those are shuffled. I'll just take yesterday's action cards, the discards and the non-used ones, and I do a little bit of a merge. Give them a bit of a shuffle. Okay. Now we're going to enter the supply phase. This will have some more interesting stuff. There's no Allied air introduction. It's not the 21st. I could play a bridge engineer. I have one. If I want to build or repair a bridge. I'm not going to do any such thing this turn. Determine supply status. It's still the 18th, or it's still the first 3 days, so all German units are in supply. We're going to check all the Allied units. So, he's in supply because he can come to here. So supply is something, read the rules on it in detail, and then read it again, and then again. The Allies' supply needs to get to the edge of the map anywhere west of these hexes. Okay, so from here west, the whole west edge, the whole southern edge, back to this point are valid Allied supply routes. Within 4 hexes, they need to get to an edge hex or a road where a road leads off the edge of the map. So clearly this piece goes 1, 2, the road goes wherever he needs. Same with this piece. 1 hex away is a road, it goes wherever he needs. Same with this piece. Same with this piece, this piece. All of these are in supply until we get to this one. So for supply, you may not go through a hex in enemy zone of control unless you have a friendly piece in that hex. Therefore, this piece cannot trace supply. Enemy zone of control, enemy zone of control, enemy zone of control. This is out of supply, or I'm sorry, it's low supply. So we have the low supply chip. Tomorrow, the next day, if he is still out of supply, he would get an out of supply chip. That's low supply, out of supply. The day following that, if he is still unable to trace supply, then he gets an isolated. The day after that, if he's still not in supply, he starts rolling to see if he starts to surrender steps, or those dots on his piece. Okay, and then there's some other rules on them being out of supply. We'll cover when we get into combat with those. So, this guy is out of supply. One benefit we're going to have as the attacker is an out of supply. Low supply, out of supply does not draw one of these cards for a combat tactic. So, as the Germans, we like getting Allied pieces out of supply. This piece can trace. So this hex is in German zone of control. This is not a valid road hex exiting the map. So this piece could actually go 1, 2, he's in supply. This piece can go 1, 2, 3, he's in supply. This piece can go 1, 2, 3, 4, he's in supply. Or they could go, 1, 2, 3, they're on a road, etc. So these are still in supply. So it's just the one piece we managed to get out of supply, or low supply. Let's just show a quick peek on the rule on what low supply means. If in combat, no combat tactic may be played for the unit. May not exit the map. Cannot be the lead unit in an attack. So, the biggest thing right now is that piece will not be drawing a combat tactic to help it, nor will it be able to have a piece deployed as an undetected defender because it's currently surrounded. So, that will be a good candidate for us to attack just because it's not going to get those any surprise help. All right. Remove roadblock markers that are not in both German and Allied communication. We have one marker. It is in German communication because it can trace a path off the map on the German side, and it can trace a path off the map on the Allied side. We don't have any fuel in play yet, so that's the map, and ready to begin with the first German impulse. And I'll begin that next time I play. All right, here we are, December 18th, first Axis impulse. We drew 4 of these 6 Panzer Army cards. I'm going to use them all right now. This guy has an event, Commandos. Is this light enough? Let me turn my overhead light on real quick. All right. Commandos. Let's look this up. German events. commandos, play during your impulse. Skip the next allied impulse. Okay? So that's the first point we're playing. Remember, command level today is 4. So after we played 4 cards, the allies get an impulse. So that's that one. And next, I'm going to activate all units in the Corps. The first SS. All right, that's all the yellow. Let's see what we can shuffle around here. I'm going to take this piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shoot. Can't do what I wanted to there. That's fine. I want to get as many pieces involved with this as I can. If he breaks contact, that's 1. Forest is 4 more, that's 5. A road up to here makes 6. If this piece breaks contact plus the road makes a total of 2, that can be 3. Does that buy me anything? No. Can I get 1 piece here? 1 point there to help? Yes, I can. This one. 1, 2. The reason being, you can only have 3 pieces in a hex or a total of 6 dots. So let's go ahead and get him over here. This has got a 2, a 3, and a 3. I cannot make that any stronger than it is. Okay. And I'm not insane. I'm not going to attack that stack of 3 with an improved position. Just double check this 6 again. Yeah, break contact would be 1. Forest makes it 5. Cannot move there. Okay. This will be a total of 5, 6, 12, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25 to 3. It's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Elite makes 7. Strong piece makes 8 max. That's fine. Oh. I'm going to be aggressive on that. In that I'm also going to use artillery. I want to take away the use of activating this core because I want to put artillery on that spot. Okay. That'll be that one. Can I do anything with this guy that's useful? 1, 2. I'm just going to bring him forward. Well, let's see. 1, 2. Two. Okay. I'm at least going to bring those there. Him there. I'm going to need him there at some point probably. And this piece You know what? We're going to swing him up yonder. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. These are going to stay put. I'm going to use a reinforced battle to include them in another attack. Plus, I'm going to use an artillery on him too. I want that spot, and I want that spot. Which one first? Which one do you feel lucky with? Let's go with the one up at the... We'll go with the one down here first. Okay? So that one I'm adding artillery to. There's no combat tactic card to add to this because 1, it's surrounded, and 2, it is low in supply. Minimum draw is 2. One, two. Well, we drew a blue tile. There's nothing in the discards to put back in the bucket. There's no air power. This is a large attack, and the odds are certainly greater than 3 to 1. So, as a default, without doing anything else, the city would take 1 hit. The piece could turn over for a second hit. He will not be eliminated yet. So I'm going to press on. Oh, also, in order to get the large attack, I have to have at least 7 chips drawn. I think I said 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Elite makes 7. Strong piece makes 8. This card makes 9. So maybe it was 9 max. 5. I'm going to draw 6. Oh, 6 more pieces. Cross my fingers. I don't take hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Attacker has artillery. Woohoo! There is no defender adjacent. He is unsupplied. No air power. No air power, not used. No defender adjacent. He is unsupplied. That hex is ours. Only the attacker has armor. And it's whatever it is, he's gone. So town takes 1 hit, 4 more eliminates it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6 hits. So, this piece is eliminated. Okay. Add him to the eliminated pile. Let me throw my chips in the discard. We can do some advancement here. I'm leaving him alone. He's next to a piece. In here we've got a couple powerful pieces. So the first advance here, we have a fuel marker that gives us fuel, instant fuel if we need it on a later day where fuel is at play. We'll set that aside. This piece is entitled to 2 hexes of advancement if the piece was eliminated. We don't have any allied zones of control to worry about. Also, we're not going to be checking for a roadblock because there's already a piece adjacent to that. So his second move is taking this VP hex. Let's give ourselves 2 more points on the victory scale. let's go ahead and throw up. We have a couple cities here we just took. Sorry, a couple towns we just took. All right, so that was his second move. I want to blow forward. I want him doing the same. Because I'll be able to go this way with them, up and around. If I came here, I would be tied up because I would be next to him. These pieces, let's look at these two tanks. 8. I'm going to take these two, and their advance is going to be 1, 2. Because this guy right now is another weak spot that we're going to want to exploit. We'll go ahead and move this guy, whoops, into that town. No harm in also moving him into the town. He can get to there, he can get back to there, he can do whatever he needs to. Put him in the town also. All right, so that was a huge success. Next piece of combat will be here. So I use that card to activate with. I'm allowed to use 3 combat tactics. That was 1. Now I'm going to use these 2 combat tactics for that other attack. I'll put him up in my discards. So we're going to use reinforced battle and artillery. So we're reinforcing with this stack, and we have artillery involved. Now this time, that piece gets to draw a card. It is not part of the 12th Corps, so now we go to the, so they also have artillery, which good chance if there's an artillery chip, theirs will take priority over ours. Okay, so the minimum draw is 2. Let's get those taken care of. He is in a woods. He's in a town and woods. That's no good. So he's got absorbing, the woods are absorbing a hit. The town he's in will absorb a second hit. He's not unsupplied. There is a defender adjacent, which also means we take a hit. So he's already got 2 -1s, plus he's in a town. So there's 3 hits absorbed before we would touch him. That's, no, I'm going to stop right now. I'm going to take a hit and stop this combat. I'm going to flip this. Oops. Let me go find the 1-dot version of that. 326. There we go. So there's the 1-dot version. So he's no longer a green piece. So that's out of the way. Yeah, I just saw too much risk there because artillery chips, just to take one back here from last draw, you know, defender artillery has the P. That takes priority over the attacker artillery. So those chips would not have helped us. You know, there's a chance we could have drawn, is the attacker green? That would have hurt us. We did not have attacker elite involved, so the fact that we already had 3 defensive hits absorbed by woods and town, I did not want to press that on. All right, we'll throw him in the bin. Throw those chips aside. So again, the minimum draw, which was 2, you always have to draw that. Once those are drawn, you then decide how many more chips you want to draw up to the maximum. You can stop right there like I did, or you can decide I want to draw 2 more, 4 more, 5 more, whatever. Then that's what you have to draw in addition. All right, so we tossed those cards aside, all used up. I used 5 cards that activation. We draw 5 to replenish them. So the 5th Corps or Army, another 5th Army, a 6th, a 7th, and another 5th. Now remember, we played the Commandos event, so the Allies skip their impulse and we go right into our next one. So I'm going to pause this just long enough to look at my cards. All right, I think I made my decision. We have this card to activate. Good grief, what is that? The 85th LXXXV. I'm going to activate these. Okay. I am then going to use that card with the fixed artillery. Okay, so fixed artillery. It's the 18th. You see FAR is 4. So fixed artillery is good for a range up to 4 from any of these hexes with the west wall in them. So that's right next to it. That's only a distance of 1. All right. The maximum draw is going to be 2, because that one's bracketed. 3, 4. That card makes 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. That's it. That's what we're going to do. Because again, this is a soft spot right now. If I can get that piece out of there, I can perhaps open this up. All right. So he does get to draw a card. He is the 8th Corps, so he will not get any extra piece deployed. And today is the 18th, so air power does not apply yet. So he gets no combat tactic help. Let's draw our minimum 1 chip. Cross our fingers. All right, so the combat odds is 3, 6, 8. These get cut in half. So 5 becomes 2. It's 10 to 2. It's 5 to 1. All right, so there is an attack, a defender hit here, but the town will absorb that. So we're going to draw all 4 additional ones. Max was 5, remember? 1, 2, 3, 4. Card makes 5. So 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It was 5 to 1 odds. That one also applies. 5 to 1 odds. This is the priority side. That one applies. There's another attacker hit. Broken or clear. It is broken. terrain. Good grief, there's 3 attacker hits. I'm going to be dispersing. It's not clear. It's a town and broken, so this one does not apply. All right, so on the defender side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He will be gone because the town absorbs 1, 3 more, and this is eliminated. So that piece is gone. It will be worth another victory point. So I'm at 9. And I am not, at least not right now, I don't want to take 3 attacker hits. So I can take 1 hit and then fully disperse. There we go. This piece that's not yet over the river, we're going to flip him over. That's for my 1 hit. And then I'm going to disperse those 2 stacks. Alternatively, I could have taken 3 hits and I could have only advanced as far as that town. So that is what it is. Okay. That will be the end of this activation, or this impulse, because I've used 4 points in total. Discard my 2 cards. Draw 2 more. Oh, that's an army card for the 7th. All right. Those can be useful. All right, we'll go straight to the Allies' turn. Impulse. All right, so they draw. So there's no special on here. So now we check the deployment. They have a deploy 7th, armored, and 82nd. We have the 7th and the 82nd sitting in here. Okay, now, even though the number sequence is 2 and 3, and this is 5, 6, 15, 16, there's something about this S that means they might deploy prior to those. Let me see if I can find that. I'm going to pause for a moment instead of tying this up. All right, I found it. We've got rule 9.4. Priority of strategic reserve. When strategic reserve units, those with an S next to their entry date, and regular reserve units are available, deploy strategic units first, then the regular. Okay. So, the S's take priority over the non-S's, so therefore we'll be doing this stack starting with number 5, 6, etc., and then these 2. And more than likely, all of them are going to get deployed today because it is now the 18th, and it says we've got Allied deployment method B is in effect, as well as out of contact. So, back on this chart, you see now on the 18th, check units in the reserve box. So that's these, these, using method A. So first we're going to check our standard criteria. XVII they deploy from this line north, okay? So we're going to need an empty position in the core area, can trace supply, German unit is proximate. That's next to a piece, next to a piece. Can't get there. Can't get there, can't get there. This is valid because this is proximate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's valid. Where's the one with 6? Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is valid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 are both. No. That one's not because it's next to a piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Cannot get the woods. Okay, so these are the 4 valid spots. Can any of these be surrounded if we move there? No. So these all pass. If more than one, within 3 hexes of the same division, 82nd Airborne is not yet on the map. If not possible, within 3 hexes of the unit of the same corps, no. None of these are within 3 hexes of one of these. Same within 3 hexes of same army. So that's the dark green. So within 3 hexes, valid and valid. That one is valid. He's within 3 of him. That one is not. So it will not be that hex. If more than one, highest hold value, we have 4, 4, 4. If more than one, the westernmost hex. That's going to end up being this one. Okay. So after all of that, that first piece of the 82nd Airborne will go there. We move on to the next piece, all these same things, okay? We've already done a lot of this, so we go back to putting that was valid, that was valid, whoops, that was valid, that was valid, okay? Those same positions. Now we're within 3 hexes of a unit in the same division. So we have this division on the map. That's within 3, that's within 3. This is still not valid. And then once again, it's going to say highest hold value. Both of those were 4s, then the westernmost hex. So it's going to end up being that one. Gets the next 82nd Airborne Division. Okay. Now we'll do all that again with the next piece. That's no longer proximate to the German piece. This is, so really, that's going to be the only spot we look at. So that's going to get the next 82nd Airborne piece. And then we have one more of the 82nd. There's no more proximate locations to a German piece, unless that one. That one now is, because it's not in jeopardy of, it wasn't in jeopardy of surround anyway. It would not have been in place of these because these all had hex values of 4 anyway. But let me look at that if that's valid. Yes, it is. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's next to Allied pieces. So that piece is not deployed as method A. Neither will that one, neither will the next one. Okay, because we've already deployed what we can on proximate hexes. So they've plugged holes best they can. It's the 18th. Check for out of contact units using method A. So out of contact, of the pieces that were already on the board, only within the 7th and the 82nd. So this is the only piece that was on the board. If he was out of contact, meaning no German piece was proximate to him, it is. So he's out. He's not out of contact. If he was like way back behind the lines and there's no piece proximate to him, then he potentially could get redeployed to the front lines. Okay. Out of contact means that we basically, as the Germans, we're not really sure where he is. This piece right now is technically out of contact, as is this one, because we are not proximate. We do not have a piece that can reach those. Okay. So after point 2, we go to 3, because now it's the 18th of December. Check units still in reserve, those, using method B. So now we're to method B. First piece we look at, again, back to this 82nd Airborne Division. Place unit in a hex occupied by a unit in the same division that's in communication and supply within stacking limits, not danger of surround. We have 3 choices. Okay. If more than one position, highest hold value, then the westernmost hex. It's a 4, it's a 4, it's a 4. This is the westernmost hex. So he will be added to that stack. Next piece. Place unit in hex occupied by unit in same division in communication and supply within stacking limits, not in danger of surround. Guess what? This hex here just became very powerful because now it has 3 armored divisions in it. The entire 7th Armored is in Vilsalm. Okay, so that was a major deployment that really reinforced things. Card goes aside, and that's the end of the Allied impulse. So we're back to the Axis impulse. I'm going to pause and take a look at my card.